celebrate myself. I do. I applaud me. Yeah, I do. I've come a mighty long way where I used to be. And I celebrate my life. Yeah. And I celebrate all the love. Yeah. And I celebrate all of you.
Good afternoon and welcome to Real Chicks Rock Presents Real Discussions. I'm your host for today, Michelle Dorsberg, and I am super excited because I missed you guys. Hi, yeah. It's a new year. I think we did our show, of course, our last show in December, so it's been a couple of weeks because we, break Christmas and the New Year's and the whole thing. And so now, it's the first of the new year, and we're going to talk about health, healing, and wellness. But before we get into that, for the new listeners, thank you so much for joining us. Let me give you a little background about what Real Chicks Rock is all about. It's all about the empowerment of women, and we do it through various different ways. We do it through community service, we do it through public speaking and mentoring, and we do it through the arts. This particular platform in particular, right? We do it through media, and we have the opportunity to have these discussions and conversations with people that I feel are subject matter experts for the topics, or just interesting people to help us be informed and just spread the information and knowledge. So our mantra has not changed, even though it's a new year. We're still all about the same thing. And today, like I said, the topic is all about health, healing, and wellness. And I have not one, but two beautiful ladies here with me in the studio today to talk about holistic healing and wellness and all of that. We're going to get into that. But I want them to introduce themselves a little bit. To my left, Noni Walker. Hi, Noni.
Hi, Michelle. Real Chicks Rock.
Yes, hi, Noni. Welcome. Tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you, and thank you so much for having me on today. As Michelle said, my name is Noni Walker, and I am the founder of a couple of companies. My first company was the Walker Exchange, and then my second and present company is Noni Walker Ventures. I've had a long... It feels long. History in health and wellness since probably 9th grade, wanting to be a surgeon after anatomy class, cutting into the guinea pigs and the pigs and everything. I really enjoyed that. Learning about the system and anatomy and the human body. Once I really got a handle on the fact that I did not necessarily want to be a doctor, I then went into public health, and that was one of the best decisions I'd ever made in order to learn more about population health, community health, and then what does it take to keep a population healthy? Not just to treat it, but how to keep a population healthy. After having a really long career in nonprofit health, the main reason I decided to start my company was because I was a little bit frustrated with the narrative of how disease comes about, what populations are always affected by disease, and I wanted to have my own platform, as you know about, to be able to speak more freely. So that was the impetus for initially creating my first company. And so since then, I've written a book. I've become certified as a wellness coach.
Yes, you're a speaker too.
I'm a speaker as well.
Yes.
And just a lot of different things that I'm sure will come out over this time period.
Yes, we're going to talk about all of that. So thank you and welcome. Nicole, Nichelle Woods, doctor. Are you doctor, correct? Hi.
Hello.
Welcome. Tell the people a little bit about yourself, Nicole.
Okay. Well, I first want to say that I'm honored to be here with you ladies, and thank you for having me on
You're
your
welcome.
show.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. I became a doctor through the International Quantum University for Integrative Medicine in Honolulu, Hawaii. I chose to become a doctor because my mother passed of cancer, and watching her battle led me on the path of medicine. She was a nurse, so she was very trusting of the traditional medical field, and just kind of, she got diagnosed at 50 with breast cancer. She was passed at 53. At the age of 50, she looked 30. By the time they had treated her over the course of 3 years, she probably looked like she was 80.
Wow.
So just watching her just change in such a way that was so drastic, in such a negative way, I said, I cannot do that kind of medicine. So after I completed my basic sciences to become a medical doctor over in a Caribbean university. There is a school called Xavier University School of Medicine in Aruba that is owned by some Morehouse doctors.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I went over there and I studied with them, and I did all my basic science classes. When I was to come back to Atlanta and start my clinical rotations at the Atlanta Medical Center over on Boulevard, I called the Department of Education in Washington, D.C. and said, this is where I am in my education, but I don't want to be a traditional doctor. I want to be a natural doctor.
Wow, okay.
I really want to help people. By the time I started college, my children were already like 10 and 11. I was a young mother. I was right out of high school, pregnant, probably dropped out of 3 colleges before I actually got serious about my studies and my life. And it was really my mom getting sick and me not having that security blanket no more that made me really get serious about my life. So watching her as a nurse is like, okay, she's always been able to provide for her children without having to look for help. So that was kind of a motivation. But as I got deeper into my studies, it's like, there's no way I'm doing this. I'm not doing traditional medicine. I could not understand pharmacology. I did not think that it was fair that insurance companies would dictate what kind of treatment you had going on, so that the third-party dictation of insurance companies, the surgery, the harming certain tissues to get to other tissues were all stuff that I said, I can't sleep at night doing this. This is not me. And I'm not chasing money. My kids are almost half grown. It's just me. So I followed my passion, and I got my PhD and my doctorate in natural medicine the same year my youngest son graduated from high school.
Awesome.
This was
Nicole.
in 2014.
Wow.
From 2014 to 2016, I worked at the Longevity Health Center in Roswell, Georgia, serving under Dr. Seneca Anderson, one of the most prominent naturopaths in the southeast region of the United States. He has a wonderful family practice in Roswell that he's started maybe 30 years ago. He's a doctor of acupuncture, but I worked as his right-hand man for 2 years, and I learned so much. That's how I got into energy medicine.
Which we're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about that. While you were working under or with that doctor, and not to disclose anyone's clinical or patient information, but is it safe to say that most of the patients that came were trying to deal with cancer or other type of terminal illnesses, Nicole?
Yeah. Okay. So when I got into natural medicine and when I first started practicing, I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
Right.
Thinking, oh, we're just going to be talking about nutrition and everybody's going to come in here. They're going to be so healthy and everybody's going to understand what's going on. And this is just going to be a great way to practice medicine. Right. But when a person generally doesn't come to see a naturopath until traditional medicine has failed them terribly. Okay. Until they've seen 13 other regular doctors that haven't done anything with them, until they're tired of taking 20 different medications a day, that's when they decide, oh, let me try the natural route. Okay. And when they realize that you can help them and they're seeing improvements and they and that they're getting off medications and they're getting relieved of things that doctors told them they were going to hold on to their whole life, oh, they cling to you
for dear life.
So it got really I got burnt out really fast.
Did you really?
And I went to massage school at night. I was working in the day, went to massage school at night, got my massage license, which gave me a license to practice in Georgia, like to do hands-on work with people and to do body work. So after 2 years of being there and just feeling like, oh my gosh, how I'm gonna do this, like how I'm gonna really deal with people's whole life problems.
Yes,
holistic
through their body.
Means whole.
Yes.
So I'm not just talking to you about your heart and send you somewhere else for your feet and send you somewhere else for your brain. I gotta do everything: the body, the mind, and the spirit.
Oh my, right. We want to. I want to talk about that, which led me into the definition. But let me go to Noni. Noni, you said in just opening up and sharing a little bit about your background, you were a little tired of the narrative, right? The narrative seemed interested. Explain to me a little bit what that narrative is. I think I know, but for the people that are listening and watching, what is the narrative?
Well, it's a fine line when I bring this up because I've had a wonderful, fulfilling, rewarding career in several different organizations. So it's not to discount those organizations. No. I do believe the intention has always been to want to help people. So just point blank, that's my disclaimer. I do believe that most organizations that exist in the health and wellness field have that clear and good intention. Okay. However, over time, the narrative that tends to get pushed is that if you are a minority, African American, Hispanic, Latino, Asian American, that you are going to get certain diseases just simply by existing. Right. And you know, as a younger person, okay, sure, I agree, I understand, that's what it is, and everyone seems to think the same thing. Okay. But as I got a little bit older and a little bit wiser and more confident in myself and my own intuition, that's what led me to say, I'm not sure I really believe that. Gotcha. And so again, it's a fine line because I do still continue to work with organizations, both small and large. But that narrative that you're just supposed to get disease because of what you look like, what your skin color is, etc., I do not believe that anymore. Okay. And so that's really what prompted me to go into more our mental health. What are our belief systems? What is it that actually creates behavior change? It's not just you are X, Y, and Z and you're going to get this, but there are other things even before that that prompt someone to make one choice versus another choice, one behavior versus another behavior. Wow. So that's the narrative that really just began to rub me the wrong way, and I wanted another way and or my platform to be able to just freely talk about. It's a little bit more than that. It's a little bit more than that. Yeah.
Now, Nicole, you mentioned it's the mind, body, and soul. So with that, let's just segue. If you can, give us the definition of just holistic healing in your words. What do you think? What does that mean to you, or what should it represent?
Well, when you take the root word, okay, you can spell holistic WHOLISTIC or HOLISTIC. Either way, the root word is whole. Right. So the mind is a very powerful thing. Yes. We know that we can create disease within our own bodies just from our thoughts alone. We can heal from disease by our thoughts alone, and just what we're feeding into our mind.
Okay.
Your spirit is almost that, the energy that you just don't see. And then you've got your traditional body. What I understand about like traditional medicine is they focus on the body. And at times we need to just focus on the body.
Okay.
You know, if my arm is broke or something,
Right.
I
Okay.
need
Good
that
example.
emergency room doctor to maybe reset a bone or something like
Right,
that.
right.
But disease does not always exist just within our body.
Right. Right.
Sometimes it is our soul that is broken. And those are the things that the energy medicine touches on. It's the stuff we just don't see that we know we are, that is also a part of who we are. So like holistic is everything. It's like it really means, even when I tell people like outside of health and wellness, holistic just, it means balance in your lifestyle, in terms of your finances, in terms of your rest
Yes.
and recuperation, in terms of your workload, in terms of your family life. Like, it's all encompassing, and we know that there's so much more to us than just meets the eye.
Yes.
And sometimes that's the part that you have to treat. And I've had my sister ask me before, well, how does it work? How does it work? And I say, the same way your prayers work. You know your prayers are working.
Yes.
But you don't necessarily know how, but you understand that there is a special connection that exists, that you can get things achieved through your concentrated thoughts, through the intentions of your heart.
Right.
And with what I like to do is I like to help people understand that you can manifest a whole lifestyle based on your goals and your work ethic.
Yes.
Like, what you really desire also desires you. And if you to be holistic means that I'm not going to just focus on one part of my existence. I'm working on a complete self. You know,
Yes.
we are our own universe. You know, so
Wow.
I strongly believe, you know, that.
So is it sometimes that's a lot there, because then there's a mental.
It's a very big.
It's very mental
aspect to it.
So there's those negative spaces, unfortunately, with depression, broken hearts from relationships, insecurity. It's just some of those formulas or emotions can help or hurt us in this whole world of holistic healing and wellness. Agreed, Noni?
Agreed.
Yeah. And I think that's what energy medicine balances.
Okay.
That's what energy medicine works to balance.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the energy medicine, if we can. So, Nicole, tell me a little bit about it from your perspective, or maybe Noni. How about you? Who's going to tell
You
me?
can go first. And then I'm going to I'll wrap
She
up.
got your back.
Well, I think it's interesting because I would say that I am the classic case of the same way like in public health, you study a small percentage to represent the whole.
Yes.
And so you could look at me as that small percentage to now reflect what the whole is going through. So, for example, getting a degree in biology and going through the educational route, in academia you learn about traditional medicine. And at one point in time, I had no idea what energy medicine was. You know, I don't think that, I'm sure I knew it from my intuition on the inside,
Right.
but it hasn't been until the last several years that I've allowed myself to explore that and to really get into that. And I think that as the population as a whole, we're seeing a lot of people shifting in the same way. 10 years ago, you didn't hear things about, there's bad energy in this room.
Right, no,
you know?
you never said that.
You didn't hear that. And so whether it's trendy or not, I think we're seeing a lot of people that are shifting towards at least the desire to understand more about energy medicine. What I perceive it to be is that even outside of the body, that there is like an energy field outside of our bodies, within our bodies and without. And you have an energetic field around your body. Dr. Woods has an energetic field. This room holds an energetic field. And as we move about our day, as we move throughout the world, our energy centers are kind of like interacting with each other. And you can feel that. You ever sat down next to someone and you're just like, I don't know why I feel so uncomfortable right now. It could be the mix of energy.
Right.
But when it comes to energy medicine, then it's more or less looking at those energetic centers in the body, which, if I can introduce the word chakras, a Sanskrit word, that's what that means, an energy center. Looking at those energy centers within the body, our auras around the body, and understanding how those do have an impact or are not having an impact. Maybe they're blocked. Maybe they are a little bit dense. And so what is the impact of the energy on the body, on the mind, and of course on the spirit? That's just kind of my little introduction into what I perceive energy medicine to be. I'm learning literally every day and getting more and more information and more just intuitive insight as well.
We're learning of it. We're learning every day too. Nicole, would you agree, disagree?
I definitely agree. Just to expand on it a little more, at the clinic in Roswell is where I was really introduced to homeopathy, which is really a form of energy medicine.
Right.
And the way that I would really try to explain it in the most simple terms is everything in this universe vibrates at its own very specific frequency. Everything is broken down into a frequency. So when I do a scan on a person and it's saying that so your intestines or something are out of balance, what they've done through physics and homeopathy is they've measured your different organs. If this is a healthy intestines, what frequency is it vibrating out of?
Okay.
So then we've got devices that we can use to test. And this way I can scan the whole body really fast. And all it's really doing, it's going in and it's scanning and saying, is this heart vibrating at a healthy frequency or is it out of balance?
Right, okay.
Are these intestines, this is what a healthy intestine look like. This is the megahertz.
Right, okay.
Of a healthy intestine. So is this, and this one is out of balance. And then what it will do is it allows you then to determine what natural product is then used to bring that frequency back into balance.
Okay. Natural. Key word here is natural products. Natural.
Not causing any harm to any other part of the body. Whether it's a homeopathic remedy to detox the organ, whether it's some kind of nutritional support that you can get through a supplement or changing your diet, whether it's a lack of sleep, a lack of exercise, what natural remedy is going to bring this system back into balance. And that's the way I would really try to explain it to my clients, especially people that were coming in. For say, didn't have any idea, you're dragged in by a spouse to a place where a lot of people, these are quacks. Like, call us quacks, we're going, what are they in here doing? It smells funny in here, like just smell vitamins and stuff, Everybody's eating wheatgrass, like what are these people really in here doing? But what I loved about and for the last 2 years, I branched out on my own. I've been doing everything on my own. I opened what we were doing in Roswell, I turned into a mobile business.
Nice.
So I can go to your home and test you. I can go to your home and detox you. I can go to your home and just sit down and consult with you.
Yes.
That's how I do my practice now. Plus, I just opened a little wellness center inside our gym, Precision Athletic Corporation, over at 4826 Fulton Industrial Boulevard.
Nice.
So it's a wonderful, we have a full gym and a full wellness center over there now. Plus, like I said, everything is mobile. Everything I can do.
You can
so,
do.
because a lot of times, when you're really getting deep within somebody's health, you just want them to be as comfortable as possible. So if I can come to you, I'll come to you. If you want to come to me, fine, we can meet wherever. But what I love about what I learned at Longevity is it added a science to it. You know, you come to me and you say, I'm getting a sniffle. I could say, oh, go try some vitamin C, go try some echinacea. But the way that I've learned to work my practice is I have a device and it'll scan you specifically. So the vitamin C may be what you need, but she might need the echinacea to cure this cold.
Yeah.
She might need the garlic, or the ginger might work better for you.
Right.
So instead of me just guessing, you telling me
do
these
us-
are my...
Right. You
I've
checking
gotta-
us out from head to toe.
In about 15
In
minutes.
15 minutes. So that's a good thing, Nicole, because my question or concern is, I feel that, to Nani's point, we that have ears and eyes and a sense of wanting to live a better quality of life want to get ahead of anything that could be coming against us, right?
Because of the genetic disposition that we may carry the trait.
Right.
And like you were saying, you know, they want to make you feel like because your family had this or because
Right.
the grandma had it, everybody in the family about to catch it.
Right.
Everybody about to get
Yeah,
diabetes.
right.
But you're right. There's a lot
we're
that can be
raising
done.
up. We're really starting to change what we say, even in the sense of how we feel. We say certain vibrations, energies. We're talking different. And we do not want to go and get a physical and then that doctor, that traditional doctor, and no diss, because I know some great traditional doctors, no diss. But we don't want that doctor to tell us. Or if they do, we want to take that analysis or synopsis or whatever and come to a natural state of wellness before we start taking medicine for high blood pressure, for thyroid, for our heart, our colon, or this and that. And I want people to realize that are listening, you have to be committed to a lifestyle
It
change.
is a lifestyle.
It's
Yes.
not a quick
hobby.
fix.
It's
Here
not a
we go,
hobby.
skip to my loo. It's going to happen. Because realistically, in some cases, it didn't happen overnight. It could have been trending over a course of time, and we didn't know.
Generally, it is.
Right?
Disease is generally not going to
It's
catch
the
up with
second
you for
not-
20 to
Right.
30 to
Right.
40 to 50 years
Yeah.
because of the body's resilience
Okay.
and desire
Okay.
to live.
Okay.
The desire to survive.
Right.
You know? But my whole thing is, and to go off what you're saying,
Right.
is that's where I just really feel like this is the information that the kids need.
Absolutely.
This is stuff you got to start with your babies, you know, feeding them the right foods and making sure they're exercising and drinking water, unplugging the electronics.
Yes. Yes.
The amount of radiation that we are exposed to just right now, nobody should be sleeping with anything charging within 5 feet of your bed. Your bedroom should be a free zone, a clear zone. And if you can't clear out the whole room within 5 feet, there should be no chargers because it's emitting a radiation that is disharmonious to us as humans. And you do not even go into a deep restorative sleep.
I'm guilty. That's my
Fitbit,
problem.
A lot of us
sorry,
are.
I'm
Fitbit
guilty.
included.
Yeah, I don't have a
You
Fitbit,
know
but
that
I
people
do
use
charge. Yeah. Ooh,
Right by
Nicole.
your head.
Nicole,
Right
by your
Nicole,
head.
It's right there by the bed. Oh, just in case. And you know, there was
Exactly. We
a
all do.
time. There was a time that I was like, you know what, the phone is going to go. If my son is here with me, then there's no other emergency that I need to know about, right?
Well, yeah, get you some real sleep.
Yeah, so I was leaving it in the kitchen, and then all of a sudden I'm starting to bring.
Back.
I gotta start. I'm starting today.
Yeah.
I'm starting
Get it
today.
out.
I do. But I have mine. If my kids are not in my home,
Yes, I
one of-
do have it
then
close
I do.
by. I
just
do.
Yeah, and I keep up with just by doing detoxes once a quarter.
Yeah, yeah, you get that radiation
Yeah.
out of your system, and you have to, and that's another thing. People ask me all the time about detox, and I say, well, hey, we're putting the junk in from so many sources, and you
Right.
could tell me you're eating organic all day, every day,
Okay.
and I'm still going to tell you it's not enough.
Right.
Like I don't even want to hear that because even a lot of times you really got to be careful too with the parasites that are on a lot of the organic produce and stuff.
Ooh, now we're going somewhere now.
Girl, you
We
can
are-
get the pesticide or the parasite. Pick your poison.
Pick your poison. So we don't necessarily have to wait until we're terminally ill
Oh, please
No.
don't.
to begin a holistic lifestyle, and just to have our frequency checked from head to toe to understand where we might have some
Out of
deficiencies.
balance. Yeah, where are my
and
strengths
that
and what are
type
my
of thing.
weaknesses,
Right,
and
right.
what can bring me back into balance.
Right. Now, what could we do? Because I know, I'm noticing even with Nani, there's a lot of crystals and energy, and we're talking that kind of stuff. What are some of the fundamental things that we can do just today to kind of change our energy or embody a better kind of frequency? What are your any suggestions?
Well, and to go back to the point of not waiting until you're terminally ill.
Yes.
Usually when the body starts to show symptoms of anything, that's the last step.
Ooh, I'm in trouble.
And if we go back to our ancient Eastern practices, which now I really understand always goes back to ancient African practices, then we learn that once the spirit is in disharmony or unease, then it trickles down to the mind, and then it presents in the body. So a lot of times we think this cancer came from nowhere. This diabetes came from nowhere. Well, it came from a long, chronic time of multiple things happening on a physical level, but also a mental level and a spiritual level, and a lot of times emotional level.
And then you get just taxed out. Just taxes out.
Right. And so what's showing up in your body is the last resort. So that's why we don't want to wait, because no matter if a person looks skinny, they look this certain way, you don't know what's going on with them energetically and emotionally. So one of the things that I've been talking about for a couple of years is really just for us to start by taking it back to the basics. So I'm going to do the back to the basics, then I'll punt over to Dr. Woods because I'm sure she'll take us even deeper. But many times we're not even drinking enough water. Back to the basics. Drinking enough water. Sure, it's easy to make an excuse, well, our bodies are made of mostly water. I don't need to drink it, but we do. The water enables us to be in a state of balance physically, especially if we talk to our water. It can help us to be in balance energetically. So that's one key thing that I think everyone can do. A second key thing, back to the basics, get enough rest. And, I know that in our Western society, there's so many prescriptions. It should be this number of hours. It should be this number of ounces of water. But really, it's what speaks to you and yourself, your whole self, that helps you to feel better. So, for example, I love sleeping about 8 hours. I just love it.
Me too.
But then there are others that say, I try my best and I can't sleep past 6 hours. There's nothing wrong with either one. If you found that formula that works for you, then go for it. So drinking enough water, getting rest, and just even slowing down. Back to the basics.
I'm a mess.
Slowing down. We can be, all into all of these different topics, but then going 100 miles an hour every day, all day long, barely getting any sleep. And so you're not really treating your whole body, in such a way that's going to ensure a long-lasting, healthy lifestyle. So I'll start there, and then I'm sure, Dr. Woods, you're going to take us even deeper with what we could do to ensure that healthy lifestyle.
Okay, because I'm so excited about this,
She's so excited, yes.
Yeah, okay, because a lot of people, one thing a lot of people don't know about me, or maybe only my close friends know, I'm a grandmother of 3.
Really?
Yes.
You're beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Looking like
girl,
so young.
I'm drinking a gallon of water right now.
Well,
I drink a lot of water, but I'm turning it up.
One of the most important things I feel that people can do, I'll start it with the most important, then I'm gonna kind of backtrack. The most important thing that I feel that people can do: find something in life that you enjoy for you. Has nothing to do with your husband, your kids, your mama. Really take some time and find what resonates with you. Find a hobby, find something that you really enjoy, that when you are stressed out and things are just not going your way, you have a healthy outlet. That's the first thing I say, because stress kills.
Yes.
Stress kills, and when you are not taking time to just love yourself or do something that is just for you, I don't care what anybody else. We're gonna, you keep it within context and no hurting other people or animals or elderly kids or nothing like that. But you just find that some kind of healthy outlet for yourself. Another thing that I think is really important that people just ignore and don't want to do is exercise. You've got to exercise. God made us of parts like muscles and bones that are not designed just to be sitting around and as like couch potatoes and watching TV. Like, you've got to move your body.
Yeah.
It's very, very important because we release so much through the sweat, through your pores.
Yes.
Your deep breathing kicks in.
Yes.
One thing I can honestly say is, and I love exercise. It's the one thing that nobody's ever forced me to do. I'm a foodie, so I battle with the food stuff, but I don't battle with my exercise because I enjoy it. Because I've learned that no matter whatever is on my mind, if it's something bad on my mind when I go in the gym, by the time I come out, I've completely forgot what it was.
Good for you. Good for
So
you.
I really enjoy the mental endorphins.
Okay, that you get.
Yeah. And just enjoy being able to keep my same clothes for the last 20 years. I'm still wearing clothes from basically high school and stuff like that.
Wow.
So just maintain. And they say if you are at a healthy weight at the age of 19, that's where you should be as you become an elderly. You are not supposed to be gaining all this weight and having all these ailments. If you are at a healthy weight at 19, that's where you need to be as you become an elder.
All right, let me talk now because there's a lot here, and I'm just going to be transparent and tell you because I look good, but I am a mess. I'm going to start with what Noni said first. I am not getting enough rest. I am not. I like 8 hours. I'm good if I can get 6.
Okay.
Only because I'm doing all of these things, and then by the time I look up, it's time to go to bed, and I'm not. I do drink a lot of water. I do drink a lot of alkaline and mineral water to do that, and I've seen a tremendous amount of improvement with just my skin and how I feel and the digestive system and all that. But I am stressed. I think I went to the doctor in November, and he was like, your blood pressure is a little high. And I'm going to say, Nicole, because I put on some weight. I am not the size that I was at 19. I'm not. And so I need to lose weight, and I work out every day, and then there's what I eat, and then I got to stop eating certain stuff. And it's just, I got up today, as a matter of fact, and felt like you think you have it together. But in retrospect, I really don't. There's a lot of different things that is, I got the air quotes, stressing me out because I am mindful of it and putting plans of actions to it. And it's just a lot of different pieces and moving parts. Being a mom, running a business, taking care of myself, and then taking care of yourself has different degrees and levels because it's the sleep, it's the nutrition, it's the exercise. Then you have to feed your spirit, your soul, and your mind.
Right.
So it's just so many different things going on. I just tip my hat to every woman that's doing it, that's got it, and you can tell that it's all together. Me, I'm a work in progress.
We all are. Yeah. Like, who got it all together? Call in right now if you got it all together. Hit our line right now. We all work. No, but girl, please.
So good point. Good segue, Nicole. If you have a question or comment on this delicious and insightful conversation, call us at 470-251-4343. That's 470-251-4343. I thought it was me because I was like, check the box for a few things, but then there's some areas of strong improvement that I need to do. I want to talk about a little bit about, I'm going to get to the crystals and those type of things, but I want to get to the food part because the more we learn about food,
the scarier
it gets. And
I don't want to eat anything.
You don't want to eat anything. And you find that you're limited even more. I was listening to a program of a doctor, very highly regarded, and he discovered, how we're putting on weight and things that are causing cancer because he was an open heart surgeon and he didn't want to continue to practice that particular lifestyle. He wanted to change the narrative and be on the side where he can tell his patients more about what to eat and not eat versus waiting until they have to be on the table to do that. And so now I'm in the space of what can we eat and not eat. Hold on, I think we got a caller. Hi, do we have a caller on the line?
Hi, yes, let me turn down my
computer.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you? Thanks for calling.
You're very welcome. I just wanted to call in.
Yeah, turn your audio down in the back. We can hear something. Okay, thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to call in. I'm listening to the show
Thank
with
you.
Nicole on there, and I want to ask a few questions about health and wellness.
Hey.
And, yes.
Go ahead. So what's your question?
Concerning health and wellness and what she does, and, I'm very proud that she opened up her own facility, but I would like to know what kind of services exactly, and I probably missed it because I didn't know where to log in, what type of services she actually provides, and the address was said kind of quickly, so I want to know that as well, so that I can possibly go and be treated with some of her body scans.
I thank you so much for calling. We are a full-service wellness center. We offer fitness training, whether that's group and personal training. I am a licensed massage therapist. Within my massages, I like to incorporate cupping and and reflexology. I do deep tissue, Swedish, hot stone, pregnancy, do all different types of massages. I also do, we have a sauna. I also do with the scans, the bioenergetic wellness scans. So that's the really deep personal assessment. I also do the consults if you just want to come in and talk, and I like to help people plan a healthy lifestyle, help them get a plan together. But we're pretty much full service. We do have the meal planning. We also offer services in which if you want to put together an event, say you've got some friends coming in town, or if you have a company and you want to do an employee appreciation day, it can come over and set up the chair massages. We do detoxes, full body detoxes. I mean, we are a complete wellness center, and just depending on your goals and your needs, I'm sure if I can't help you, I can point you in the right direction.
And where are you located? Nice and slow.
Okay.
Nice and slow.
Precision Athletic Corporation at 4826 Fulton Industrial Boulevard. Atlanta, Georgia, 30336. We're in Southwest Atlanta, over by Cascade.
Awesome. Caller,
Okay.
did that
Awesome.
help, caller?
It helped a lot. What's involved in the full body scan?
Okay, so the first of all, what I like to do is I sit down with the.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Forgive me.
Oh,
I didn't mean to say that because I heard that. I heard you clearly on the show. I meant the detoxing.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
the detox is wonderful. I use the ionic foot detox baths. This is also a practice that I was introduced to at Longevity Health Center. So everything that I decided to do mobily, it was because I saw it work I saw it work on a lot of clients. So basically with the with the detox, it's a full body detox. It's activated with sea salt, but what the little device does is it ionizes the water. Now your feet is some of the greatest area of absorption and release for your body for toxins. We absorb a lot through our feet, and we can release a lot. So you soak your feet, and basically the ions are distributed. You absorb through your system. They go through the body. They neutralize toxins. It stabilizes organs, and it brings the toxins right out. What I love about normally when you detox, you may take a drink or you may take some capsules or something, and then you're
Correct, yeah.
you're feeling horrible for like 3 days. You're in a panic.
Yeah.
You're having sweat. You're running back and forth to the bathroom. What happens is in that kind of detox, you're taking in something and you're telling the body, go into my crevices and pull all this gunk out. And that's what it does. And it dumps it right into your blood. So then you got to wait for the blood to catch up to remove it. You got to wait for the liver, the kidneys, everything to filter all of that out. So you're having the 3 days or so of detox. And that's why, because everything is now dumped out of the crevices and in the blood, and the body's got to catch up. What I love about our system is you generally feel energized afterwards because it's bringing everything out immediately.
Oh, nice.
You're not just going in, activating something and letting the body, it's pulling it right back out. So I tell everybody they make their own nice little color soup, It really does change according to what the priority of your body is. So say like a lot of my athletes, their joints are generally their water just is a lot of orange. I'll see a lot of orange generally first because they're getting a lot of gunk out their joints and stuff. Smokers, it's going to be that heavy deep brown because of the liver tobacco, you know.
Wow.
I even had like even women after their cycle, you'll see the red, like it's cleaning out the last little blood from their cycles and everything like that. So I love it. And like Noni was saying, you know, you quarterly detox, Noni?
I do.
You say, and that's what people say, well, how often should I detox? It's like, well, it depends on your lifestyle and it depends on your goals, you know. And like Noni was also saying, you got to determine what's sitting well with you. What do I need?
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of times, even with the scan, I'll tell people, I'll say, oh, well, it says you need, for example, aloe vera juice. And the one lady's like, I've been walking past aloe vera juice in the grocery store and someone's been telling me to buy it for months now. So it's like, listen to your intuition in terms of what's going on with your body and act, because our society is toxic, everybody. It's toxic. And I really do think they're trying to take us out of here.
They're trying to take us out of here and take all the money.
Under
Yeah,
my breath.
I'll say it. You know, listen, they're trying to take us out of here and take our money with them. There you go.
For they can have more. They are.
There
They're
you go.
utilizing really minuscule deceptive practices to do it. Stuff that we're really not thinking about. So just listen to your intuition, listen to your gut, and utilize, like, we are in an age where, like, I think it's an information age.
Yes, it is. It's
And
like
that's
say
why
that.
people are just getting more, like, curious. They're tired. People are tired of being sick.
Yes.
They're tired of watching their family members, you know, come up with these diseases. They're tired with children, you know, little children just sick. And so it's like, just do the best that you can. Nobody's got it all under control, but we sure can try.
Caller, any other questions for my guest today? They're awesome.
That was so awesome. It was excellent. Thank you, all three of you all, for just putting this out there, because it's a wealth of information within such a short time that just sparked my curiosity. So I actually live in LA, but I visit Atlanta a lot. So I am going to be seeing you.
Yes, please follow
Thank
us.
you so much. My name is Renee Blue.
Hey, Renee Blue, follow me.
Bye, Renee.
Chicks Rock for more information, Renee. So thanks for calling.
Bye, sweetness.
Thank you so much for starting this and just putting it out there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a blessing. It's your calling. And I love all three of you guys. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
You're a
Thanks,
blessing.
Renee. Bye. Nice.
International.
Yeah, that was nice. So that was very informative. Thank you, Nicole, for that. And I'm sure everybody that was listening got wind of that. So be ready for more people to call to make appointments. I'm raising my hand. I need a quarterly tox because I want it out. I want a better quality of life. And I'm doing my part, but I know that more information and incorporating things in a lifestyle is going to help increase my wellness and the type of life that I live. We were talking before the lovely Renee called in about food and just our paranoia about what we can eat and not eat and shouldn't eat. Do we have where can we start? Like, is it really just the vegetables and fruits, or not really, or not all of them? Look at Nicole about to bust. Nicole,
I know.
well, I'm a foodie.
How much time do we have?
You're a foodie, so you eat. So you eat.
This is a very complex topic for me. It gets really deep, okay?
Really?
Yes, because my business partner, who actually owns the gym, Coach Carter, Coach
Wait,
Zedrick
hold on,
Carter.
Wait a minute. Is someone else on the phone calling? Is there somebody else on the line?
No, it's just me on the line.
Oh, I don't know who that is. All right. Go ahead. So you're a foodie.
Yes, I'm a foodie, and I love all kinds of food. Like, I love all kinds of food, but my business partner and the owner of our gym, he's strict vegetarian.
Okay.
Like, and what I love about it, you know, he's still very formed, he's still very cut. Like, he doesn't look like, oh, he's a vegetarian. You know, he's still very built. He can build his muscles up still through it. My problem with that type of lifestyle is that generally people are not eating what they need to eat. They're not eating the types of vegetables. They're not getting the protein content that they truly need, and protein is so important for the body. Protein is the major building blocks of all our cells. And so if you are going to follow a vegetarian diet, please understand the importance of getting the proper amount of protein into your diet. What I'm trying to get our clinic kind of centered around is more traditional Chinese medicine model of eating. Seasonal. And even with our exercises and everything that we're kind of talking about, I want it to be more seasonal. I think there's certain things we should be doing more so in the winter versus in the summer.
Nice, yes.
With our foods, with the forms of exercises that we're doing.
That makes sense, yes.
And that's the way that that's the model that I'm transitioning everything into.
Do you think, Nicole, that our blood types play into the foods we should eat and not eat? Because I've been living that kind of walking that walk for about 2 years, and that's helped too.
I think so. And I think that that's another thing about being vegetarian. If you're O positive, you need protein.
Yeah, you do. I'm O positive.
Yeah, and you need your protein.
Yeah, I do.
And it's not about it. What's wrong with our food supply now is the way things are farmed and the way they're raised, the way they're shipped, the way they're packaged. It's not that the meat is bad. It's how it's how who raised the meat. Where did it come from?
What they put in Essie before they took her to slaughter. Like, what was she eating?
But then you got also to think about like how it takes, I want to say, 79 bowls of spinach today to get the same nutrients you would have gotten out of one bowl of spinach in 1940.
Oh my God!
Because the soil is depleted. There's no iron. The minerals are not in the soil because the rainwater is so messed up. So it's all very, very, very tricky. You need to know where you're getting your food from is what I can say.
So do we need to take supplements?
You need to take supplements.
Natural supplements, right?
Yeah, clean
but
supplements.
It even matters where you
clean
get those from,
supplements.
Because there's a lot of just empty things on the shelves at major grocery stores.
Well, any supplement that you go check, everybody can check your cabinet right now. If any supplement you have, if in other ingredients it says the word silica, know that is sand.
Yeah.
Okay, and then if anybody out there, because I know everybody likes to take B vitamins, go check your supplements now. If you are taking cyanocobalamin and not methylcobalamin B12, then you're taking a synthetic material and you're just going to urinate it out. Yeah. So you have to be knowledgeable. You got to do your research. You don't want to Walgreens, GNC, CVS, and maybe one other. But they were cited maybe 4 or 5 years ago for putting fake products. Those are not those brands you need to stay away from. So that's another reason why it's good to get with a professional. Like I'm very, very, and that's another thing I learned at Longevity Health Center. Like they were very, very strict on what products they would carry in what they call their natural center, their nutraceutical center. Okay. So you don't want to just be buying the cheapest thing you see. And you just need to do your research to know that your products are clean.
Okay. And let me add that in doing our research, let's give a shout out to our local farmers, our local agriculturists, those that are out there day in and day out with the community gardens, with the gardens that are doing farm to table, farm to school, farm to restaurant. Yeah. There are a lot of people, even here in our metro Atlanta area, that are doing that. And so it can seem to be a little bit overwhelming to think, okay, I need to get online and think about all these things. I can't even pronounce what Dr. Woods just said. I'm gonna have to write that down once we leave here. It can seem to be, it can add more stress sometimes to think, I need to figure out how to research all of this. But if we can begin to get back to, I'm trying to put it all together in my brain of how I want to discuss this, that looking at what we're eating is important, but we have grown away from the community models that our ancestors once had, where we were all taking care of each other, and it was an automatic thing, and we didn't have to worry about what am I doing in my one home, because my one home is part of a compound, etc. And so I think, like, as we tag those things into this conversation, that we could see a great difference in that we can partner with our local farm. We can partner with, I mean, even like this year, one of my intentions is to learn how to do a raised garden.
Okay.
And because I don't know how to grow my own food. I don't have that natural green thumb, but I want to get more into that.
Right.
So what better way to know what you're eating than to grow it yourself? So there's a combination. We do what Dr. Woods is saying. We need to research, get online, understand, look at our ingredients labels, and if we don't really know what that means, then let's not eat it. And I'm saying let's because I'm totally guilty of just kind of putting certain things in my body. And then on the other hand, as we can attempt to get back to that community model, that model that we are all a village. Don't just say that when it's convenient, it takes a village to raise a child. Actually try to live that and get back to that model where we are all taking care of each other. You know, how great would it be that instead of us complaining about these apartment complexes are all on the wrong side of town and that's why they don't do this, that's why they don't do that, but how great would it be to re-inspire that community feeling, have community gardens, have people that are coming out to teach and to do things. Dr. Woods, you're mobile. I mean, I'm like, okay, let me see. She's gonna go here. I'm gonna join her and do this.
Yeah, me too. My
she's,
wheels are already.
She's getting around. She's going out in the community and inspiring that community feel. It's something I'm getting more into this year that I'm sure we'll talk about. Yeah. But do you see where I'm going with that? That it's a combination.
It is a combination of things. And another hot word that we're talking or we say, and I hear it a lot from, I see it on social media, and I've said it a lot too, collaborative economics. Oftentimes, we don't put the money back into our communities to help these things get up off the ground. So if you know someone, especially somebody African American, growing some food in their yard, support that. You know, purchase your fruits or vegetables if possible from them so that they can continue to build and grow, and then we can spread. And then there's an opportunity to mobilize it and take it to the communities that don't have the opportunity of getting their hands on quality produce or vegetables. And not only do we give them the information, but we give them the product to go with it, and we can start and break a particular cycle. We may not be able to change everyone, but there's going to be a few people in that's going to be like, I needed this. Because just like energies and vibrations are talking to people about aloe vera and aloe juice, there's somebody in that community that knows and that's destined to live better, but don't know how to go about it. So if you have the information and you have the means, we need to kind of work collectively together to get it out there, at least make it a little bit more available to people, because ultimately they have the choice, right? We have the choice, regardless of how much money we make, where we live, the choice is up to us. Somebody is still going to go and eat something from McDonald's with fries and ketchup even after listening to this show. Yeah, of course. Because it's a choice. And you have to get to a place in your life where you say, enough is enough. I don't want to live that way, and I'm going to change it. And it takes practice, guidelines, and changing what you listen to too, and who you surround yourself with when it comes to those type of decisions of what to eat and not eat in the lifestyle. It's very difficult. It's very difficult.
And on a personal level, I've been going back and forth with, I'm going to be vegan. Like for 2 years, I go back and forth. I'll get almost there, and then I'll start listening to certain speakers and things talk about the importance of meat again. And I just go back and forth until remembering my own advice that I just said during the show of when do I feel at my best? And I feel at my best, me personally, with a combination of the healthy greens. I love to juice. I love to do smoothies, and I feel good when I'm eating clean meat. I've tried to go without it and try to do protein in other ways, but me myself, it doesn't feel good to me. So I don't know. I still may end up next month convincing myself that I should try to go vegan again, but it's going back to what's going to work for each person. What's going to work?
And it could be a seasonal thing. Like Nicole was saying, that it could be a seasonal thing, that certain parts of the year or times of the year you don't do it,
or
like
the summers and stuff. You probably don't need as much. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm getting heavier into that. What I want people. Okay, so there's something out, I guess now called the Incredible Burger or something, and it's that vegetarian burger that all these people are going crazy over. I watched a little documentary on that, and what they're doing. Okay, so everybody knows. Okay, well, maybe not everybody. I shouldn't say that. Well, you know, iron is what we get out of our meat, right? The iron is what's really okay. And the iron that we get from meat is utilized by the body instantly. The iron you get from vegetables has to go through conversion processes before the body can utilize it.
Right.
So if you're lacking certain nutrients, the conversion processes may be inhibited and not actually be taking place. That's one thing about it. Then in regards to that Incredible Burger, what they've done is they've come up with a GMO, a genetically modified heme. So a genetically modified iron, an iron that they have made in a laboratory is what they're putting into that product to make it taste so good.
And
it's fake blood,
incredible.
Basically. Yeah, and people are loving it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's called the
haven't heard of
Incredible
it.
Burger. It's a vegan burger, so it's like the fake meat, basically. Some of that fake meat, but people are going crazy over it, but it's because it tastes so much like meat. The reason it tastes so much like meat is because they made iron in a laboratory and they're pumping it. So my thing about it, and there was an article earlier today that somebody tagged me in about going into a meatless society, but they still had all these pictures of meat. But what it was all fake meat. It was all just stuff that I guess they're making. What's scary about all that is the body doesn't know how to dump that stuff.
Right.
The body doesn't know what to do with that.
Yeah.
This is new stuff that they're creating in these laboratories, and they're using us as experimental guinea pigs. And they're just got you all pumped up in your head. Right now, veganism to me, it's a trend. It's a trend. If anybody that's done jumped on the vegan bandwagon, it's just because that's what everybody else is doing right now. Your grandmama, your granddaddy, your great-grand, they weren't vegans, and they were perfectly fine, weren't they? But because they were growing a lot of their own food, they were raising a lot of their own food. I never had a green thumb either, but my grandma used to have the best gardens in the world, the most flourishing gardens I could ever imagine. So this year, I actually grew my first set of vegetables, girl.
Congratulations.
But I thank you through a hydroponic system.
Okay.
In the house.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to worry about the soil being dirty. I didn't have to worry about the rainwater. But you know what I noticed kept those vegetables thriving? The pH of the water.
Really?
Because there's a water system. There's just water circulating. The roots hang in the middle of the tower, and the water's just circulating. So it's constantly flowing water, so it doesn't collect bacteria. So the water is constantly pumping through a pump, and it's just nourishing the roots of the plants, right? So then the plant is growing. But what we checked on a regular basis was the pH.
Right.
And you would notice when it was acidic, they would start turning yellow and brown or whatever. And then when you put it back into more of a nice, more of an alkaline base, not completely alkaline, but more of a neutral, I should say, environment, is when the plants would flourish. And it would be so funny because you could come in the morning and look and be like, oh, they look a little off, check the pH, go ahead and balance it, and within hours they're back flourishing.
Nice.
So I'm like, man, that's us. That's us. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it is a matter of finding that internal balance, and pH plays a lot of it. So knowing, like, in terms of also foods, your acid-based foods versus your alkaline-based foods, but it's very much a matter of keeping up with what you feel is going on inside of you, because there is no one set model to anything or to anybody. We're all so different. But that's also why I really like my testing system, because it does customize your needs.
Awesome.
It customizes your needs. So
awesome.
But it was just it's really interesting way of testing.
We got options.
Yeah.
We got options. Noni, talk to me about crystals. I see that you have some beautiful stones on your hand. Does that help create a vibration or anything? You feel that helps you in some way?
For me personally, I love crystals, and it started several years ago. I can't remember which one of my dear friends first gave me a crystal, but it started with that. A dear friend gave me a crystal, and actually the all of my beginning crystals were all given to me by dear friends, and I still have them today. And so then in doing more study on them and understanding the energetic properties that they hold, for me, I love it. So yeah, I do. I wear a main one on my finger. I have a clear quartz crystal here. I have lapis lazuli right here for clear chakra, my throat chakra to be nice and open and for me to be able to communicate clearly. Wow. I'm also I have a couple in my pockets too. So, but that's just me.
Yeah.
And I did a recent Facebook Live on it, and just to share. Like,
right.
I realized that one thing I think I used to do was to say, you should do X, Y, and Z. But now it's just a matter of just sharing.
Yeah.
And that everyone can make their own choice based on what's best for them. So, as we know, crystals come from the earth. There are genetically modified crystals. There are ones that are not real. So, you know,
there's fake everything nowadays. You can get anything you want fake.
But a lot of it can kind of go back to also our intuition, which we are taught out of how to use. But you can kind of use your intuition, use your feeling, use your own energetic, match with when you're assessing a crystal. But they do, in a very broad sense, they do have healing, calming, and other properties to them that you can utilize in your life on a day-to-day basis.
Nice. Because everybody's wearing crystals or having it. I have some in my house too. In your car, underneath your bed, certain spots
Collecting
in the
negative
house.
energy and putting out positive energy.
Yeah, just kind of just warding off different things as I learn more about it. I want to talk about a little bit, Noni. I heard you mention you just speaking earlier about ancestors and things of that nature. And I wanted to see, does this holistic lifestyle and practice, does it have a religious tone or vibration that comes along with it? Or what's your viewpoint on that?
I'll start by saying, as Dr. Wood said a few minutes ago, how like quote unquote veganism is a trend, right? And I agree. Because if we go back to the ancient paintings and things, from ancient Kemet, which is AKA Egypt. What we know is Egypt today is actually Kemet. They were hanging meats from the ceiling. So there's been an argument that and I think I even believed this several years ago. I thought that our ancestors did not eat meat, that they only ate from the land and it was only vegetables and things. But then I had to kind of shut my mouth and do my own research and understand, okay, I don't know what I'm talking about. So when we look at things like food and we look at meditation and we look at crystals and we look at energy healing and the use of tools and the use of our hands, yes, I mean, I couldn't tell you right now, I couldn't go down and say it came from this ancestral practice or this religion. I don't have the entire list, but I do feel that more of us are waking up, I'll use that term, to wanting to understand more about what our ancestors did do. I think a lot of us are waking up to our intuition as coming from the inside now. I don't have a degree in hand healing, but there's something that happens when I do it. Okay?
Right.
And when I allow myself to be that from the inside out, when I allow what I feel is the spirit of my ancestors to come out. So yes, I do feel that it is related, and that as you take your journey and understand, you might be someone of Irish descent listening to on this live right now. You might be someone of Welsh descent, someone of African descent. Along those lines, your particular culture, your particular ancestry had things that were good for your people.
Right.
And we've been taught out of that in the Western civilization, in this Western society. We've been taught away from it for all kinds of reasons that I know we could get into today.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't necessarily benefit society as a whole to really understand our power and where our power comes from. But I do believe that those things are related to where we've come from
and who we are.
I think the ancestral, I think it's very ancestral. I think religion is man-made. I think the principles of true holism and
Yes.
holistic medicine
Yes.
are more of the universe and are God centered, not religion centered. I think it does require a certain amount of faith.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean it has to be in Jesus Christ or
Okay.
Muhammad, but it's in the divine center and core, like the creator, like the just understanding that there is some form of an eternal force that connects us all.
Yes.
That with nature.
Yes.
You know, anything to me not man-made
Okay.
is what I give power to and rise to. So she's carrying the crystals, but do I believe in the power of the crystals? Definitely.
Okay.
Because I know that everything that is on this earth, that's of the earth, is for us and has some benefit to us that we've lost through technology or lost just through trying to be, you know, so important as humans.
Right.
You know, we've diluted, you know, the naturalness of a lot of the practices and things of this nature. But I just think that it's all like, it's of the universe. To me, it's of the when you utilize the things of the universe, utilize the sun and utilize the water, utilize the trees and the plants and the, you know, when you're feeling out of sorts, you know, sometimes it's just take off your shoes and just go stand in the grass and let the
Go outside. Just
breathe.
breathe it.
Yeah.
Breathe it
I would have
in.
never said this out loud 5 years ago because I used to struggle with talking like this because there weren't many people around me that even spoke like this.
Yeah, you got
But even
company.
things like going out and hugging a tree.
Yeah.
You know, I really feel when I sit outside, I get messages from the sun. I mean, you cannot tell me any different. And I'm finally, after years of knowing that was me, but then not being surrounded by a lot of people, that now, you know, now we're seeing that shift that I'm talking about. And a lot of it was in the house community. I love our local house community here in Atlanta, and we do find more people who are open to that. They're open to growing their own food, open
Absolutely.
to understanding the benefits of things that are here in the earth, and our universal one connection.
Yes.
Well, you
No
say,
matter what religion you are.
you say 5 years ago. Imagine how I felt 24
I
years
can't.
ago, and
Yeah.
I wanted to have a water birth.
Right. Oh, yeah.
24
they would have
years when
probably
I
tried
wanted
to commit
they
you
thought I
to the
was
crazy
crazy.
house.
Yeah.
How dare
Imagine
you
how
go
I
against
felt
that
24
today.
years
Right.
ago and wanted to give birth to my sons in water.
Now we are.
They're like, it's videoed and
Yeah,
everybody
yeah, yeah.
understands
It's
the
different
whole
now.
concept.
It's different now.
Yeah.
And now we're just really this is just basic like 101 to help people understand and get comfortable in talking or having these questions or having these conversations and doing the lifestyle shift, because it's a shift and it won't happen overnight.
Right.
It's the balance that Nicole talked about, what works for you, and really identifying where your balance needs to be, because in some areas for some people they're better than others. For me, it could be the food, it could be the stress, it could be the sleep, it could be the phone doesn't sleep in the bedroom anymore. It's a whole lot of different things that I need to practice, and that's why this topic I thought was very apropos, because it's the start of the new year. So we got time. But we don't have a lot of time. But it is, you have an opportunity to research what my guests have said, look it up, because, you know, that's the power of the internet. Like, we have information technology right at the click of our fingers. So anything that we said today or discussed today, we challenge you to look it up, ask the questions, email us, you know, hit us in the DM with questions, things that you might have missed. You didn't get it all, so when we upload this to be replayed, you need to, you know, check it out again and make sure you got everything that was said today, because it was very informative. I want to talk about here how, Noni, you got a book. Tell the people, because I got an author here too. I got a doctor, I got an author, I got all these great people.
You have two authors.
I got two,
Yes.
two authors. Yeah, we're going to talk about your book too. Noni, tell the people about your what you got on the desk today.
So this book is really like one of my children. See, not my daughter would be offended. How dare you say that? But the book is a later child, because it does represent a tremendous amount of growth that I personally and professionally underwent in 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. It was at a time when I was doing a lot of that education. I was repeating the narrative, and I was, you know, this on the outside very conservative, on the inside very much universal, in touch energy hippie type person.
Right.
And I was going through a struggle. At the time, I was going through a divorce. And at that time, we could not stand each other. Now, thank goodness, we are pretty good co-parents and actual friends.
Good.
And I was just going through some unhappy times at work. And I had to have like this personal moment of realizing, wait a minute, I'm out here talking to everybody about all of this good education stuff, but on the inside, I feel like I'm dying. And I went to the doctor's office. This is in the very first chapter, and the doctor did the blood work, and then I got that call that said, Miss Walker, you're going to need to come in for us to discuss your results. And I'm like, okay. So I freak out for like 24 hours. Oh, Lord, am I dying? What is going on with me? And I go in, and at that time, the doctor says, you're like 0.1, 0.2 away from being pre-diabetic. But I knew it was from behaviors, stress, what was going on physically, what was going on mentally, what was going on spiritually. So I then went on this journey personally, and then it began to show up professionally because I felt more authentic as I was out working with people. And that's how this book came about. The book is called The F Train to Freedom, and it's that way on purpose. It's to get you, to get your attention. What is she talking about? The F train? But it starts off with what I call the dirty F words in health: fear and fat. And I say that those are quote unquote dirty because, first of all, who's going to relate fear to my health? What does being afraid, what does being fearful have anything to do with how I look and how much weight how much I weigh? But it has everything to do with it. And because of what we're talking about, the environment that we put ourselves in spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically has to go back to, if you are living at this chronic level of unease for a long period of time, then what's going to result is a level of dis-ease. Dis-ease. So it starts off talking about fear and how does fear affect us on all of those levels. I go through the F word, fat, to understand fat is not bad. There's essential fat and non-essential fat. So it's a little slight education on that. And then I get into other F words, such as forgiveness, talking about self-forgiveness, fasting and what the art of fasting can do for us, and detoxing not just our bodies, but our minds, what we're listening to, detoxing our homes. And then I get into foods. What are actual real food? What's real food and what's food stuff? Kind of what we're talking about today. And it's all in how to manifest greater freedom in your life. So it's a very quick read, and I have a special that I'd like to offer the listeners today with this book to kick off the start of the year.
We like
Who wants to manifest some more freedom? I can't help it. I just dance all the time.
Yes.
So from now until 2 weeks from tomorrow, which is January the 21st, that's the full moon. I do kind of go by our moon cycles. I'm offering a special on my website, freedomkeywellness.com, and I will put up this coupon code because you'll be able to buy one and get one free.
Nice.
Buy one and get one free. So you want to buy one for yourself, get one for your spouse, get one for your best friend, get one for your child. It is that easy to read that anyone on an 8th grade level can read this book.
Nice.
So again, I'll put that coupon code HOLI for holistic, HOLI 19. It's already active on my site, freedomkeywellness.com. From now until the 21st, buy one, get one free.
Isn't that wonderful?
And I have a second thing that I'll do later. I have another gift to give to our viewers and listeners. You get a book. You get a book.
Yes, I love it. Nicole, what do you got? You got some books. What do you have? What do you have?
Okay, so I self-published my first book in 2012, and mine was kind of like yours. So I came back from medical school from doing the book part over in the Caribbean. Had been gone 4 years at this point, back and forth for 4 years. Been dating this guy for like 10 years. So of course we get to 2007, and I get back and we kind of break up. We break up. And he'd been kind of funding my whole medical school career, so now I don't even have the money to finish school, right? So at the point we're going through this breakup, and I can't go to school because I've got a chair to figure out now. You know, I got the 2 boys by myself now, and just trying to get everything back on track and not have a breakdown in front of my 2 sons getting ready to start high school, like holding it all together. And so I used the time to write the book.
Okay.
I was so used to studying so much and just having such an active mind from school. I needed to put my head into something. My mom always wanted to write a book and never got the chance to. So I was like, okay, I'm going to write this book. My motivation behind it was because at 30, then I had lost everybody was gone except for my one grandmother. Had never met my father's parents, and my parents divorced when I was pretty young. My grandparents from my mom's side were very active in our life, but my grandfather had already, so everybody was gone except for my mom's mom by the time I was 30, all my elders.
Wow.
And I was like, goodness, you know, I don't even really know like a lot of my history. I don't know, you know, we grew up in the time where wasn't in grown folk business.
At all.
Whatever
Seen
the
and not
family
heard.
secrets were, you did not know any of this. So everybody's passing. I'm like, I don't really even know anything about where I've come from. So I said, in case I pass young, I'm going to write a book.
Okay.
I'm going to write a book, and I'm going to tell everything that I know about my ancestry and my whole existence, and I'm just going to put it all out there, the good, the bad, and the ugly, in case I pass young and my grandkids or my great-grandkids want to know something about me. Like, what kind of life did she have? What did she do? Where did you know? So I started it on, the book starts on May 19, 1930.
Okay.
When my grandmother, my mom's mom, was born in the Deep South as a Cherokee Indian woman, and her mom died during childbirth, giving birth to her. She was the youngest of 3. So then she migrated up to Ohio, met my grandfather, and they ended up having 3 kids.
Okay.
Well, she was real abusive to my mother. And I guess, and I always, you know, just kind of put it off like, well, she never had a mother. She was almost known as the cause of her mother's death. So then becoming a mother was not, she just, you know, like I said, my mother felt she was real abusive towards her.
Right.
So then it goes through my mother's life, because we were so close, and she was like everything, my whole world. She was my inspiration for getting into medicine. She was like my biggest cheerleader in life. Like me and my mom had each other's back completely. So I go through her life, and then I go into mine. The book ends it goes from May 19th, 1930 to September 2004, when me and my 2 sons got on the plane to leave the Caribbean for me to study medicine.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So I'm doing it as a series.
Nice.
The things that, I mean, I went through a lot, you guys, over the course of all that as a young mother, and just not, you know, not being able to provide the things that, like, the highs and the lows were just astronomical. I've been blessed tremendously.
You were beautiful. I'm sitting here like,
But
whoa.
you would never know some of the stuff that I had been through over the course, like all of us.
Yes,
you know, we have that stuff, but
true.
it was never, I just wanted better for my kids, and I wanted better for other kids.
There you go.
Because my mother was so good to me. I'm like, gosh, I had a mom. Like, if I had a dad that would have been there for me the way my mom was there for me, it's like, wow, I probably could have skyrocketed so much at such a younger age, so much further. But I was always just thankful, just to at least had my mom.
Yeah.
There. Okay, then I would always make me think about the kids that didn't have the mom or the dad.
Right.
Where do they end up?
Right.
How do you get the motivation? How do you get the support and encouragement just to live? You know what I'm saying? So So I did that part of that book, and then the second part, I want that. I haven't started writing that yet.
Okay.
But that will cover my whole Caribbean medical school experience.
Wow.
Because now here I am in my late 20s going to school with a lot of kids that are just really coming out of high school and out of undergrad.
Right.
Because I did my pre-med and my med over there. So a lot of kids were in pre-med right out of high school. A lot foreigners, mostly foreigners. But it was like the whole cultural experience of living out of the country. This was my first time out of the country as a single mother, supposed to be over there homeschooling my kids. Y'all guess how that went. Okay, but just studying, learning medicine, the opportunity, the educational opportunities that exist that people just don't know about.
Right.
How you really can get into medical school so much. You don't have to go to these competitive schools. It doesn't have to be as hard. You don't need a bachelor's degree. That you can get your MD, your pre-med credits with your MD.
Wow.
Like, so the second book will cover that whole journey
thing.
because it was so much to it. The traveling back and forth, then being separated from the kids to get it finished and all this kind of stuff. And then the third book will catch me up to actually becoming the doctor where I am now.
So how can we get that first book?
It's on thebookpatch.com.
Thebookpatch.com.
The title is Deep Within These Eyes. You can search that under the bookstore on thebookpatch.com. Awesome. You can get a paperback or an ebook.
Okay,
All right?
awesome.
And I'll have to put a special out there too, y'all.
I know. We like giving gifts to the listener. So, Noni, what else you got over here? What's going on over here with you? You got something else for us?
Well, it's to celebrate 2019 and that I created a new brand within my business last year. And in 2019 is where I'm really launching that and moving forward with that. And that brand is Freedom Key Wellness. So I spent many years, as we already talked about, really looking at mind, body, spirit. I was targeting pretty much everyone for a long period of time. And then in getting older and getting wiser and using my intuition more, and then just simply talking to my sisters and understanding how common many of our journeys have been, I was certified in womb Reiki last year. I studied with the Yoni Steam Institute and became certified in womb Reiki. Why? Because realizing that as women, especially Black women, not only do we hold our stress and tension up here, but the majority of things get stored right here in our womb. You know, we may look at our sisters and think, why does such and such have such a, large middle area? Sure, it is food. Sure, it could be lack of exercise. But a lot of that is stored trauma. And there's different ways to release what we've been through, different ways to heal. And sometimes reliving that is just simply not what we want to go through. We don't want to sit there and relive it and
it doesn't
cry,
always
get
work.
depressed.
That doesn't always work.
There are ways energetically to work with a person to help to release that stored trauma. So for me, getting into doing Reiki and using the gift that I've had for a very long time but did not choose to really tune into it, wanting to work more with women to help them release. So I've created a whole brand, a whole new website of multiple services, including the womb Reiki, which can be done in person, mobile. I can go to your home, your workplace, and Reiki at a distance.
Okay.
So that is a thing. You can actually do that where, Dr. Woods, you could be at your home, I'd speak to you, and then I can do distance Reiki, and then I'll call you after. We'll kind of talk about the shifts that you had.
You know what? It's funny you say that. My mentor is Dr. Roy Curtin out in Salt Lake City. He's like he worked on developing the first computer ever designed period in the world. He's a physicist. He's a he's a physicist. He treats me remotely.
Yes.
Wow.
So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. He treats me remotely.
Get myself together.
Girl, it's amazing. I can call him even if I'm real.
together.
I call my sons. We got call Dr. Roy. Call him. Tell him. Da, 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 da. And they'll call Dr. Roy. The mom is da, da, da.
Yeah,
he'll get on his little device, do up his little thing, and then he'll call me and say, "Go get blah 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 blah."
Right.
And then I'll go right back over there to longevity and be like, "Give me blah 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 blah." And girl, that is it. You hear me?
Yeah.
Wow.
And Todd will be like, "It might be a $12 remedy, honey.
Yeah.
It's not thousands of dollars in the emergency room wasted, and them not even getting, trying to throw some pain medicine or something at you. But he'll be at the root of my problem within." 10 or 15 minutes, and I haven't even seen his face.
Wow.
So it's powerful. The energy medicine is powerful.
Very powerful.
And it's a way of, it's the same as, they use it in traditional medicine, Western medicine here. They use it to diagnose problems. They won't use it to treat you, though.
Okay.
But they'll use it to diagnose the ultrasounds and things of this nature, EKGs, being able, those are wavelengths. Those are frequencies.
Yes.
That's all it's measuring. It's measuring the frequencies of your heart. And is the one beating good or is it not? Now put her in, she might need this or whatever for her because it's the rhythm is off.
Right.
And so that's all forms of energy, like energy work. So they'll use it in traditional med to diagnose you. They know they can use it to treat you.
Yeah.
But they ain't gonna do that.
Well, that's why they have us.
Right.
I know.
That's why
That's
you're
why
here
they
today.
have us.
That's why you're here today.
So many dynamic sisters that I know virtually and in person that are all, they either have been doing this for a long time, or I do see a lot of my sisters that are awakening to the call from within to really move forward and do this work and not have to be afraid anymore to talk about it. Am I going to look weird? Are they going to commit me to the crazy house? No, these are different tools that we can use to help each other. So that's one aspect of that new brand. Of course, I do crystal healing. There are ways to do certain types of crystal grids on the body, around the body. There's ways to point specific types of crystals to increase and multiply that energy. So that's another aspect. I'm working with essential oils as well. To do
Essential oils are
aromatherapy.
wonderful. Those are one of the easiest ways to introduce a person into natural medicine because they work so fast.
Yeah.
Do you hear me? So when you have somebody that's all skeptical, and especially they might not want to take anything internally, they might not want essential oils right in the bottom of your feet, here or here. Turn around and so that's a good way to get a skeptic on board real fast. The essential oils.
Your 2019 is looking good.
It's looking good. One of the benefits I think with the aromatherapy is, there are times when someone like our dear sister Nichelle has been going 100 miles an hour and would like an hour of just resting with the essential oils, smelling good, perhaps some really calming music, the lights are low. So using the oils to do a light temple massage, to maybe massage the hands or the feet. Maybe it's that while you're getting aromatherapy, you want to journal and get out some of your thoughts. You may just want to rest. You may want to talk. So all of those options are available in that aspect of that service. And I've got several other services on freedomkeywellness.com, including coming to your home to do a spiritual home blessing, whether it's a brand new home or you've been there for a while and you want to kind of clear the energies. I do this all the time at my home. I've done it in other homes as well and in my workplace. Past workplaces don't know what I was doing,
so funny.
but I was in there with all my stuff.
And then next you know, such and such done quit.
And they come back and say,
quit.
your office just always is so zen. Every time I come into your office, there's a reason for that.
Yes.
But I can come into your home as well and do a
Awesome.
spiritual home blessing. So these are a lot of the things that I'm launching this year. And so another gift for all of our viewers.
Another
Here
one.
we go.
Another one.
Here we go. Here we go.
From now until January 21st, which is the full moon, all services listed on my services page will be 20% off.
Nice.
Yay.
And that's a completely different code. I will again put it on this one. I'll put it on YouTube.
Yes.
I'll put it everywhere, but it's RCR.
Yes.
FKW19, and that will get you 20% of any service that's
love
listed on my page.
Cool.
freedomkeywellness.com.
I got some shopping to do. I got some stuff to get. This was awesome because I need you and I need you.
And we need each other.
Yeah.
And
we need each other.
I'm gonna need you to take some time and
Yeah,
not be all
I
this stress
know.
life, okay?
I know, I
Because
know.
think of it like this, okay?
I know.
You have your times when you should be up and going. You have your times when you should be completely at rest.
I actually have those as
Everything
tattoos.
works in a wavelength. You have,
I have
your wavelength?
flow
Yes.
and blaze.
Yes.
There's times that we are blazing and times that we need to be in flow.
Yes.
Tattoo.
Yes.
She
You
has
got
a
your
tattoo.
peaks and your valleys in life, and you need that
know,
rhythm.
I
It's like
do.
your heartbeat,
You gonna-
right?
you gonna
And
get
when
me
you're
together.
not at your peaks, taking your peaks and your valleys, what happens? You flatline.
Flatline. Nicole, get me that. You can get me together.
Yes.
Get me together. Okay.
We're going to go together
No
to Dr.
flat
Woods'
line.
center.
Come over there. You guys will love it.
I am.
It's such a family. The only reason why I put that office in there is because of the people there. Like, I was fine doing stuff just on my own, just taking my appointments, just being floating around, like not restricted in any kind of way. But Coach Carter and the members, like what we call our PAC family, Precision Athletic Corporation, PAC. Our PAC family is amazing. And where I am weak, somebody else is strong. We are so supportive of each other in every aspect. Like, when I need help with marketing, there's that marketing professional that just steps up and say, "Hey, girl, I got this." And when somebody is tired and can't flip that tire, somebody's going to run over there and help you get it. Come on, So it's a wonderful environment. You guys got to come over. I'd love to have you. You'll love it.
Coming.
You'll
I'm
love
coming.
it.
I'm coming.
It's for the overachievers.
Yeah.
So come up in there.
I'm coming.
Big personality.
Go get
I am
it.
coming. I've had a lot of different things just going on. Just going to be a little transparent here for just a little bit, because it takes a lot of work to be a business, whether it be nonprofit or profit. It just takes work, because you're a visionary and you don't even realize it. You have to account and think for things before they even happen, and it just all comes with the territory. So it's not a complaint. It's just the way that my current makeup is. And I did realize in December that I was like, you know what, you got to stop. So I have made a commitment to myself for at least the first quarter, at least January, and if I need the whole quarter, I will, to reset, recharge, renew, reestablish, and those type of things for me personally. So things will keep going. Like, I love my show. I love the show. I love to do them. I love to have real discussions. So that will go. But as it relates to events and things outside, not really going to do that.
It's the winter. It's the winter.
It's the winter.
It's
so
the
it's time to
just introvert. Go inside.
Just kind of just chill. So in that time, I'm going to be loving on Noni more and loving on Nicole more. And I've known Noni, I'm just going to say this because people are looking like, wow, this is great. Noni and I know each other through Tambor Party, and Noni used to work the door, and then Noni moved and left and did and pursued different wonderful professional things, and then I got the door. So so we are connected through that wonderful genre of music, and so this has been awesome to be able to have a platform where we can share and be informative, and this has been really, really great. So I thank you ladies both for doing that, spending some time with me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For me, you guys, Real Chicks Rock, we are everywhere. We are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Get at me on the website, realchicksrock.com. If you have any questions, comments about these two beautiful ladies that I had today, they were very informative, very knowledgeable, very transparent. And again, the desire and the goal today was just to resonate information, just to allow information to come from us to you, to help you be here as long as you can possibly be and live the best life you can possibly live. And I think, money can come and go, relationships come and go, but your health and your wellness is just priceless. And I think when you have that foundation and that basis straight, everything else will just fall into place. That's just my personal objective or conversation. You guys that see me and ask me and text me and inbox me and say, how can I help? How can I help? You know what? A donation will help. I know it. Yeah, because it takes an effort. It takes a financial commitment to do this show, time and space and airwaves and all that, and playing a producer and all that. So if you want to help us financially, go to the website, drop a donation. No donation is too small or little. We'll take it. Thank you. And I thank you in advance for it. If you'd like to be a sponsor for the show, where you got some things going on, you want us to shout you out throughout the show so people can know, because we got a viewership, we got an audience, we got people that are sharing and listening and tuning in. If you want people to know more about what you're doing, become a sponsor, get at me. We got that information on the website as well. People are asking me about t-shirts. I know. The classic T-shirts are still there. I've sold them all out. Yeah.
That's good. That's a good thing.
That's a good problem. That's a good problem to have. But we're going to resurrect the classic tees as well as launch some new T-shirts. So it's all about just kind of resetting, renewing, and doing some new things, for the brand and just creating interest and just embodying as many people as we possibly can. That is my time for today. It is. It went very quickly.
Really fast.
It went very well.
Yes.
I had Dr. Nichelle Woods over here, and then I had Noni Walker over here. Both wonderful women that were just wanting to give us as much information as possible. And I thank you ladies both for coming and enjoying and sharing with us. The next time I'm here, January 20th, my guest will be, and I never tell you what the next show is going to be. We're doing things different in 2019. Okay. We're doing things different in 2019. First of all, my opening theme song has changed. It's Celebrate Myself by Don Tallman on Honeycomb Music. Thank you, Josh Milan, for giving me permission to use it for my show. I'm so excited. So that's going to be my theme going forward. January 20th, Sunday at 2 p.m. Join me as I have the opportunity to talk to super producer, Mr. Terry Hunter. Woo. Until next time, you guys take care and continue to rock on.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you, guys.